Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. I need a mic check so my mic sounds right. I'll be in it in a minute like microwave rice. I take the microphone, I snap it like a styrofoam, because TA is off the hook like a dial tone. I'm Pure Blend, you're decaffeinated, and you're sticking out your neck to get decapitated. You have to hate it. Boy, you better lock your jaw. My analysis drops like shock and awe. I'm a vet when it comes to the chart check. With no interference, I get clearance from the flight deck. That's all I got. First person to tell me who those lyrics are from gets a free course. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Let's look at some charts and some Bitcoin. There's a whole lot going on. Nice little bounce and follow through. I personally exited my 3-day marathon trade and was able to get out with some small profit. And that's the kind of trade where when I'm in a scenario where I have a trade that goes against me and I'm in damage control rather than party time mode, those are my two modes. Party time, V-shaped recovery, oversold bounce, damage control, bear flag city, oversold bounce. And so I got into damage control mode, got out of the trade, and that's the kind of trade where I just want to exit for a little bit of profit, start with a fresh, clean slate, and clear my mindset again, because the last thing I want to be doing is dragging this one trade out with 100 different orders over 4 or 5 days. So very happy to wipe that slate clean. Just got off the road for 5 hours of driving back up the coast and ready to go at it tonight and look at things from a nice, fresh perspective. So where we stand right now, we have to be cautious of bear flags. We've been watching bear flags on the 15-minute, the hourly, and the 4-hour time frame for 2 or 3 days at this point. Now we have a potential bear flag on the daily chart. So nothing to be too concerned of at this point. If we lose the hourly higher low pattern, that's our first red flag of the potential of a bear flag on this hourly or this daily chart. Keep in mind that where we have bounced from at this point, about 8,200, is right in the middle of this weekly equilibrium. So I am not saying this is our weekly higher low. It would be ideal for the bulls if it were. That would be best case scenario. But if we do drop down and break 8,000, I feel like if we drop to a lower low below 8,223, then we will break 8,000. And if that happens, the bulls really want to defend the upper 7,000 range, because the closer we drop down to our last low of 6,415 or 50, the more the scale goes for the bears. So this equilibrium right now is slightly favoring the bulls because of the overall prolonged trend before this tightening pattern and because of where we stand in the pattern right now. The more we pull back below 8,000, it starts to shift in terms of odds of the direction of the break. So that's going to be important for the next couple of weeks while we watch this pattern continue to tighten. If we do get a bull break, a MACD cross will go along with it. We have not seen a weekly bull MACD cross in a long time. So daily chart potential bear flag. What does the 4-hour look like? The 4-hour gave us a little low, high of the bounce. And at the high of the bounce, we pulled back and formed a higher low. And then we just broke to a higher high, just barely though. This is not a convincing break at this point. Bulls still have to be a little bit cautious. We still have exponential resistance on the 4-hour time frame. I'm watching exponential support on the hourly time frame, and I'm watching the higher low pattern. So here's a higher low, and it looks like we're forming another higher low right now. And someone might say, why isn't this red candlestick a higher low? And the answer is because it is an inside bar. And inside bars are more sideways trading, sideways consolidation, not the pullback that we want to see to establish the higher low. So I have a couple higher lows, 8,570, 8,538. If we lose 8,538, the odds of the potential bear flag on the daily chart will increase. So again, little events on individual time frames, shorter term time frames, increase odds in different directions on the macro scale of things that we're looking at. So the bulls do still have control with the hourly higher lows. Resistance is 8,690. And if the bulls are able to break that level, there is a lack of resistance where we are currently trading. And that's due to the all-out dump that we saw. We never really established bases of support. On the hourly chart, we can find a couple levels. I would look at 8,826 and then 9,005 as the next two major resistances on the hourly time frame. So a pretty solid bounce. Those that had better timing and were more patient and able to wait for that 4-hour RSI to get really extreme, they've had some really nice bounce opportunities. ETH is blowing everybody out of the water in terms of the big three, in terms of gains on this bounce, where we see the low of Bitcoin 8,200s to the high of 8,690. We are talking about, it's about 4% from the low to the high of the bounce, and Ethereum did well over 10%. So big time difference there. So here's the daily chart for Ethereum. We got our low of the consolidation. We have our bounce playing out now. The next key resistance on the daily is 768. The 4-hour time frame is a bit extended, as we just broke clearly more significantly bullish than we did on Bitcoin. So let's look at that chart, ETH, BTC, in just a moment. So we will look for healthy 4-hour consolidation. We are over 4-hour exponential resistance. We had 4-hour bull MAC decrosses get this follow through as well. And we're looking for a higher low on Ethereum when we do consolidate here. So also we have to keep an eye on consensus. Consensus over the next few days, definitely a factor. If there is news that is going to surprise the market, that's when we'll see significant bullish reactions. Otherwise, maybe just a little bit more strength on this bounce than we otherwise would see. So something to be aware of, and slight favor for the bulls for that reason. And again, Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, we can form a higher low. So just wanted to touch back on this. So when we lose the hourly higher low pattern, we then shift to the 4-hour time frame and we say, okay, what level do the bulls need to hold to form a higher low here? And that's the mindset we shift to. So right now I would be watching the hourly chart for the most detail and the clearest picture of what is going on right now. And then if that support breaks, then I will switch out to the 4-hour time frame, and then this will be my preferred time frame to check in on, for the rest of tonight or however long it plays out. So for Ethereum, it's the same thing. Ethereum hourly higher low. We just formed a base of support here on the initial consolidation, 720.31. Support after that, I'm looking down at 688. So 7 psychological would be the next level, 700. And if we lose the hourly higher low, we then look to 4-hour consolidation, and the bulls will form a 4-hour higher low because we're so far above any other level that we have consolidated to recently. So the bulls really turned it on here. Let's look at ETH, BTC on Coinbase just to compare these names. And you can see there's that breakout on Ethereum compared to Bitcoin, and this is the 4-hour chart, and there's the higher high. So ended up being a bull flag on the daily, getting continuation. This is a significant bull move. Look at this weekly chart. If we get over 12285, that will be a notable bull break for Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. So this is a chart that I'm going to be watching. This is the weekly chart, and we could still stay within this pattern for another couple months. So it's the kind of pattern that I'll check in on every now and again. And if we see a lower high, we're going to have a weekly equilibrium here on the ETH BTC position, which will be very interesting to watch as well. The weekly equilibrium for Bitcoin is likely going to break before this equilibrium breaks if we do indeed set this lower high and begin to consolidate back down to continue seeing this range tighten. But that's something I'm definitely keeping an eye on. We've been noticing ever since Ethereum hit its bottom on the daily chart, we've been noticing that Ethereum has clearly been stronger than Bitcoin since April. So the last 6 weeks, Ethereum is stronger than Bitcoin, and that's definitely notable because that's who we're going to choose to trade. And we want to know who's strongest if we're looking to play a bull move or a bear move. If I was a bear, I would absolutely be staying away from Ethereum unless it's playing these overbought quick flips. And we actually did have an overbought climax on the 15-minute time frame. That alert went out at about 1:15, literally right around the top here. So that did a pretty good job of letting us know that we were about to consolidate significantly, and we did pull back a couple percent, 2.5% from that top. So in those scenarios, I would be comfortable with just a quick flip if you're a quick day trader for Ethereum. But other than that, swing trading Ethereum, bearish, I would just always choose Bitcoin over Ethereum because it's shown time and time again over the last 6 weeks that it is stronger. Litecoin on the daily time frame, much more similar to what Bitcoin is doing. The potential of the daily bear flag, we have our low of support. We're seeing a bounce follow through right now. Nice little follow through on the 4-hour time frame, higher low, higher high. But again, we have to be cautious of the bear flag because we know bear flags will give us higher lows and higher highs, but it's just the parallel channel. I'll draw them right here. The parallel channel for the bear flag, and this one's not going to be an ideal one because this current candlestick has not formed yet, but it would be something along these lines in terms of what we were watching. And like I said, I want to see another touch on this resistance line and a pullback. But that's definitely something to be aware of. Same thing for Bitcoin. That's what we're watching. And the question is, can the bulls hold their hourly higher lows? And right now, higher low for Litecoin is 143. And then I would be looking down at 140.50 after that. So bulls still in full control in the hourly time frame. Loss of the hourly, we look to the 4-hour consolidation to establish a higher low. The last 4-hour support is 137.20. Anything above that level gives us that higher low. So again, you can see how it's just a very clear game plan of everything that I'm going to be watching tonight, whether I'm going to be making any trade entries or not. I'm going to be watching Ethereum for a 15-minute equilibrium pattern right now. So if we form a lower high with the inability to break 738.99 and we pull back and form a higher low, I'll be looking at the possibility of playing this equilibrium when it does break. If it's a bull break and I play that flip, I will view it short term, just because the 4-hour time frame is definitely a bit more extended than I would like. It hasn't established a support in a while. So it would just be a short-term quick flip for me if that trade ends up playing out. Otherwise, we are watching the hourly higher low pattern on Bitcoin to be our guide into tonight. So I'm going to do an altcoin video later tonight as well, taking requests from our members, and they did their votes. So I'm going to tally that up, and I will do that video sometime in the next 7 hours or so. I'm going to chill out for a while after that drive. So I appreciate you all watching. Again, appreciate all the mothers out there. For today's Do Good Things, wanted to talk about independence. And obviously we talk about financial independence a lot, and that's important and liberating and a goal as a trader. But just independence in life in general, I find that so many times humans are obviously animals of social, hanging out. Humans are obviously social creatures, but I feel it's so important for humans to go out on their own, leave their comfort zone, and get really comfortable with themselves. And, if you're the kind of person that finds yourself really bored by yourself or really lonely or things like that, that's something that you can work on and get more used to. And it's very, very empowering knowing that you're good to go on your own. You can be very happy and safe and comfortable and enjoy yourself. And there's a lack of boredom, and you don't always feel like you have to be doing something. So there are different ways to do that. Just going out into the woods by myself is how I did it, where I just established this confidence knowing like I can go and camp in the woods. If I ever needed to do anything, I can just travel around in my car for a while and camp in the woods by myself. And that was very liberating for me, when I was moving from one place to another or deciding where I wanted to live or what I wanted to do. Having that backup, knowing that I could always just do that, was a very good safety net and helped me stay away from worrying about things too much. So bottom line is, get to know yourself and get to be comfortable alone. And I feel like that goes a long way. It trickles through so many different aspects of life, even relationships. People that jump from one relationship to the next without giving themselves enough time to reflect or adjust or learn or grow. And it has to do with the fear of being alone and just going from one to the next to always feel that security and companionship. So that's it. Again, appreciate all the mothers out there. I gained a lot of appreciation for single mothers this past 2 years, just with a friend, with a wonderful child, and watching what a single parent has to do is astounding. And then I imagine 2 or 3 kids, and I can't even put my mind around it. It's got to be the hardest job in the world. Single parents, shout out to all of you, but shout out to moms in general. Appreciate all you do, and we'll see you in the alt video later tonight.